What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Tmortal TV Fisherman Hour. I'm here again with my good buddy, Austin. What's up,
What's
buddy?
up?
How have you been, dude?
I've been alright.
Cool.
My sleep schedule exploded again.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that earlier.
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah.
You said you'd been up since like 8 p.m. the previous night, and it was like the middle of the day.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
And then I went to sleep after that and slept until like 9.
Oof.
In preparation for this.
Well, guess what? It's 10:17 here where I am, and I'm literally drinking an energy drink. So,
hey, dude, I got. Oh wait, no, I can't. Can I drop the brand name?
I don't see why not.
I got some G subs because I don't drink that G Fuel garbage.
Okay.
Use code shit your pants at checkout for 15% off.
Yeah. Man, if that would not immediately land me in a like non-monetization zone, that would be my like code for any sponsorship.
Oh yeah, that would go hard.
They're like,
Code
I don't
shit your
think you could do that. And I'm like, oh man,
sir.
But yeah,
Stop being a fucking square, bud.
it's like, come on, man, it's gonna get us. Trust me, company, whatever company.
That shall not be named.
Insert corporate
Yeah.
branding here. It's a win-win for both of us. The audience likes me to have like code name shit your pants. But yeah, I forgot. Like I always forget because I just like get into the conversation immediately. But I wanted it to be like a recurring theme of like what you sipping on tonight of like every new guest. So I'm glad you are sipping on G-Sups.
Sir.
I'm drinking a sparkling wild berry Celsius, which is my least favorite flavor of them so far, but it ain't bad.
Oh, you want a little fucking? Here you go, bud. Just for you. Where's the fucking? There we go.
Dude, a brew.
Sixer just for you, buddy.
Dude, I can't lie. I don't know if it's a bad thing. Maybe it's like pushing me to alcoholism, but I'm just kidding. Like since I've gotten off, like. For a good chunk, like I've been like majorly cutting back on social media more evenings than in the past. I've been like, I think I'll crack open into a brew or something.
I mean, I don't drink. I'm very like, I'm vocal about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with like, a casual drink every once in a while.
Right, yeah. I don't.
In fact, like drinking wine casually, there's like there's evidence to suggest that like it's actually good for you to have like a glass of red wine once a night.
That's nice because that's actually my favorite.
Hell yeah!
I've gotten really into specifically port wines, which are dessert wines for sure. They're really sweet, but they're a red wine. But man, they're just good, and like you can chill out and you can like have a nice glass of that, and man, it's good. But yeah, like even like. Historically, like you could trace it back to like biblical times. Like you always see references in like ancient texts, like around times that like
they were drinking.
Yeah, they were all drinking wine because it was safer than drinking water because the alcohol would like kill the bad stuff. So yeah,
I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Oh really? I was literally gonna ask you and I forgot like what games have you been playing lately? But like there's the answer.
God. I was a big fan of the first one, but due to my brain being stupid, I like never actually finished it. Like I tried on 4 different occasions, and every single time I would just kind of get bored, as I do with a lot of games.
Right.
And so like I never actually finished it. I would always get to this one quest that was just super fucking tedious, and I never wanted to do it.
Right.
But like I love that game. It can be super frustrating sometimes, but I love how it's super hard. It's like the Dark Souls kind of vibe, but I actually enjoy it.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
There we go. There's the first gaming hot take.
Oh, gaming hot take. I hate Dark Souls. Not me. Don't. Somebody's gonna clip that out of context.
Carl, what the fuck, dude?
I thought you loved Dark Souls. What was all those like half a year of streaming doing nothing but Souls games? But
But yeah, like, because the game, it's got like a real mean combat system.
Mm-hmm.
But the game straight up tells you, like, put in that work and you'll be fantastic at it, and it's true. And the second game kind of continues that. But it's just, I don't know. The second game takes everything that's good about the first game, fleshes it out a little bit more, and makes it and puts it into like a much larger game that
Oh, nice.
somehow runs significantly better
Yeah,
than the
oh
first one.
man. I remember I worked at GameStop when the first one came out, and I remember just how awful of a launch
Yeah, it
on
wasn't great.
consoles it was. Like, it barely ran. People were so
Yep.
mad. And to be fair, that was just consoles. Like, everybody who was playing it on PC was like, this game's great. This game's so good. It was just the console ports that were really rough. But it really got like a bad reputation because of that like rough console launch, I remember.
Yeah. And then
But
like,
it wasn't fair because like the game was good.
I mean, I don't know. I imagine it comes down to a budget thing
Yeah,
because they
because
they funded that game through Kickstarter.
yeah, it's like a tiny little like indie studio, right? It's just like
They
a
were an indie studio.
oh well, like
They're
by
they're
the
still they're still
yeah.
indie
Hmm.
technically, but they're pretty big now. And yeah, like I do not blame anybody that doesn't like the game because it can
Hmm.
be a bitch sometimes, especially like if you played it on console. Oh. If you played it on console.
For those listening at home, Austin just dolphin dived off the dock into the ocean.
My bad, y'all.
Oops, sorry, I dropped
Um,
my keys in the water.
yeah, like it would be really frustrating trying to play that game with its combat system at like 30 frames per second.
Hmm.
But
Oh
something
yeah,
funny,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like
it was rough.
base model
Uh,
PS4 trying to play that
it's
game.
it would
Oof.
be like trying to play. I can speak from experience. It's like trying to play Cyberpunk on PS4 on launch. And
Oof.
quite frankly, I blame the devs for that.
Hey.
If you're gonna put out a game on something and it's not optimized for that, maybe don't put it out.
So,
Whoa.
can I defend Cyberpunk that may shift your
Absolutely.
anger to not the devs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I love CD Projekt Red, so I'm
Yeah.
all down for that.
So they thought so when CD Projekt Red was developing Cyberpunk, they originally pitched it and like sold it as a next gen game.
Oh yeah.
It was not supposed to launch on PS4 or Xbox One, but the investors and the executives like strong-armed them into doing it.
Right,
And
yeah.
because they did that, they had to launch it early on that gen of console and then make next gen port of it for like Xbox Series and PS5. And
Okay.
if you look at it, like if you consider all those systems, especially out at the time, they had to make 10 individual
Yeah,
working ports for like all the systems it was supposed to be across. It's insane. I don't
it
blame
is,
them.
dude.
I do not fault them one bit. It makes me
That's
so
fair.
mad. Especially if you would have considered like how long it took to update the game to where it was like what everybody wanted it to be was by the time PS5 came out. So it's like, yeah, if they would have just made it next gen, if it would have been a PlayStation 5 Xbox Series launch title like they wanted it to be,
Yeah.
it would have been a completely different situation.
I got some hot takes about Cyberpunk.
Oh
I
yeah,
love that game. Uh
it's really funny.
it's
Because
sorry, go ahead.
like you've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, I've been playing Cyberpunk. So
Hey,
yeah.
hell yeah. Yeah, like I am a big fan of Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a banger. I think in the end, it's been a fantastic game, but also it's still not what we kind of were promised.
The only
And
thing that
I'm
I
always
think
gonna
we're
be a little upset
missing
about that.
is that the like multiplayer mode that they promised. That's the
Did they
only.
promise one? Oh wait, no, they got the subway system working.
Yeah, everything else that they've promised, they've kind of like given and kind of over delivered.
You
Except
think
I
so?
think they did say they wanted to do 2 major DLC expansions and they only did one.
Yeah, but it was a massive DLC. I watched
Yeah,
my friend play it.
that's actually what I'm playing like right now. I never went through Phantom Liberty, and I wanted. It was one of the Switch 2 launch titles, so I wanted to see how
Really?
it ran on Switch too.
How does? Oh yeah, doesn't it run fantastic on Switch?
Yeah,
too?
I'm shocked at how well it runs, and
It's
it's really funny. Again, you can hate on Dark Souls a little bit, but people were
thank you.
complaining at the most recent Gamescom that the Elden Ring Switch 2 port is so unplayable, like they wouldn't even let people record footage to show it off.
Oh
And
no.
people are like, Nintendo's at it again, and I'm like, listen, I love like FromSoft games, but that's not Nintendo's fault. Like, Cyberpunk runs
Yeah.
fine, and every single port of every FromSoft game on like PC and consoles for like the past 5 releases has been absolute garbage. That's on FromSoft. That's not on Nintendo.
Yeah.
But and like this comes from somebody who I love Elden Ring. I like beat every
I
single
know.
boss, base game and DLC. Like,
I
I'm not
remember. I
hating.
remember watching you beat the DLC
Oh yeah.
on stream.
It's those games are like
Hours.
crack to me, man. I don't know what it is. They scratch a very specific itch in my brain that is like the best feeling on earth. And but
I wish I got the same enjoyment from them. Cause like, like I played Elden Ring.
mhm.
Not a lot of it, because I don't know, just those types of games don't do it for me. But I wish that they did, because like from playing Elden Ring, from watching Elden Ring, from watching other people play it and stuff like that,
Mhm.
that is an incredible game.
Yeah.
Like that is like to me the epitome of like a labor of love. You
Yeah.
know? But it's not fun for me.
I get it. I mean, that's
I
how
want
I
it to
feel
be.
about like all modern Naughty Dog games, sadly. So like,
That's
I
fair.
get it. Like some games, they just like don't speak to you.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's something I've been like as I'm working on myself as a person.
Hmm.
I've been really trying hard to, instead of being like, man, I fucking hate that thing, just be like, it's not for me.
Yeah. It
It's not for me.
it's a nice spot to get to as well,
It is. It feels
because
nice. Yeah.
you can literally like you can then just set your boundaries. Like if
Yeah,
somebody's like, "Why
man.
don't you like it?" You're just like, "It just doesn't vibe with me, man." That's it. Like
Yeah.
I
I just
remember
didn't enjoy it. I didn't
there
have fun.
there's this guy who was my quote unquote friend at the time. We kind of had a falling out and are not
Say his
friends
name.
anymore. But but no, and he was trying to get me into Dead by Daylight when I worked at
Yeah, that's
GameStop,
another one.
and he was like, "It's only $10." I'm like, "Dude, I don't." I don't want to pay $10 for a game I don't care about. And like,
Yeah.
it was funny because I was like on the clock at GameStop at the time, and there was a customer like walking around looking at just like kind of eavesdropping. And he was like, "Dude, you get Big Macs all the time. This game, $10 for Dead by Daylight, that's the same price as getting a Big Mac." And I just said, "Yeah, but I'll enjoy eating the Big Mac." And the other customer in the store, like burst out laughing. Like he's like, "Hey, he's got a point." It was really funny.
Wait, the customer like was
Yeah, he
like, "You
chimed
eat
in. He
Big
was
Macs
like, "Now
all the
that's
time?"
funny."
No, did the customer hit you with the Big Macs thing, or
No,
your
my
coworker?
annoying quote unquote friend at the time.
Okay.
He was like $10 is the same price as a Big Mac, and I'm like, "Yeah, but I'll enjoy eating the Big Mac." And the
Dude,
customer was like, "That's funny."
dude, if a fucking like if I was at work and a customer pulled up and was like, "Hey man, you eat Big Macs all the time," like, mind your fucking business, random
Dude,
guy. All right.
what about this time? We were like, I was at the midnight launch of Destiny 2.
Oh
Uh,
man.
so
I was
and
at the I like my buddy was at the midnight launch of Destiny 1.
mhm.
And I remember playing that the moment, dude. I miss Destiny 1.
Yeah, I miss
Yeah,
like
sorry, continue.
I miss Destiny before Activision like screwed it up. Because
Yeah.
like I loved Destiny 2 even more than Destiny 1 personally, and like Activision just made some decisions that really made me
I
mad.
loved the Red War
Oh yeah, and they just
storyline, and
took
the
it
fact that
out.
they killed it completely
That was
makes me
kind of
so upset, dude.
that was pretty much my nail in the coffin. I'm like, you just took out stuff that like number one, the base game, like because like at that point I was trying to get friends into, and before you would be like, "Hey, you want to play Destiny with me?" And they're like, "I don't really know how to play." It's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll just play through the Red War together and you'll figure it out." And then I would like they took all that out, including DLC expansions that I paid for. And
Yep.
I would be like, who wants to try Destiny 2 with me? And I'm like, I don't even
hell
know where
no.
to begin now. Like, what do you even
Yeah,
do in the
it's
game? Like,
if I remember correctly now, like the like startup process when you make a new Guardian is just you remember the opening to the first game? It's just that.
yeah.
And then you go to the tower and I think it's under attack.
Okay.
I don't remember. But yeah, no, it's bad.
Yeah, they do this thing now where it's like, there's a big new season expansion, new story, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then, like, in a year, that story is not in the game anymore. So it's like, why would I pay for the expansion?
Yeah, and then, like, each story is just bad guy wants to take over the light.
Yeah.
And then you stop him, like, whoa.
Yippee!
Like, dude, like, everything about the Red War storyline, and don't get me wrong, I completely recognize that, like, glazing the Red War after saying, it's always just a guy trying to steal the light when that was literally it. But, like, I don't know, like, actually losing to the Cabal was fucking rad. Like actually getting knocked to the ropes, you know? It felt cool. But now, dude, this shit made me so sad because I remember in high school I loved Destiny and I was so excited. I was in like 9th grade when it first dropped. And then like just all of high school, like it would be get home from school, play Destiny.
Right.
And now I was on the TikToks the other day. And straight up, there was an ad for Destiny Mobile.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, come on,
and
man.
it was like it's that low quality, horrible slop.
Yeah.
And straight up, the caption was like, I got Destiny Mobile so I could play as the goth mommy. Yeah, dead ass. And like that's the same level to me as like when Overwatch were doing like a season pass thing and they were like they just did a video showing off Kiriko's feet.
Oh.
And then like the caption of it was like, in the new season, Kiriko has the dogs out, and it's like, all right, y'all, like, what are we doing here, guys?
You know, it's funny. This is kind of adjacent to what I pitched as tonight's episode theme of like gaming hot takes. This is not really like related to the games themselves, but like you're saying about these ads, the discourse around them, it makes me so mad when there's like sex in a game. That's it. I hate when there's sex in games. No, but
I hate sex.
I hate sex. But I hate it when there's these great games with these insane character like driven like story arcs, and just because there's like really like mature sex stuff in it, that's all anyone talks about. Like Baldur's Gate 3, Mass Effect when it came out, if you remember like the discourse surrounding it. Like I went years thinking like Mass Effect is just the blue alien sex game, not knowing that it is one of the greatest science fiction action RPGs you will ever play. And like, I
still gotta finish them.
And the same thing with like Baldur's Gate. Like, I mean, people know how good Baldur's Gate is, but like
Baldur's Gate, I'm gonna come out and say it. The hot take. Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the greatest games of all time.
Oh, fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I decided to mislead a little bit, but yeah, anybody who feels differently is wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, I get like if you don't like it, it's not for you. Cool. You cannot look at that game though and recognize that is a genuine masterpiece. The fact that they were even able to like come like within like 80 to 90% close of what it feels like to play Dungeons and Dragons in a video game is like already like, wow, they did it. But
yeah,
like
there's a fucking minor spoilers for the name of a character in Baldur's Gate. Whoa. You remember Zevlor? He's the tiefling paladin from you meet him in the Grove.
Maybe.
Regardless, like he's an important character throughout the entire storyline.
Oh, cool.
But like because of the way that the game is made, you can just kill generally anyone.
Yeah.
And they wanted you to be able to do that, so they put in backup plans. But they also put in backup plans for their backup plans, and then a backup plan after that.
Yeah.
Like, you can kill him and somebody will take his place, but if you kill the person that's taken his place, somebody else will take their place. And then if you kill them, somebody else will take their place as well. And to stop the cycle, that person, like, will just, like, give you the information you need and then run away.
That's
And, like,
really, like, it's so cool. Like,
it is, dude.
and
It's...
not to mention, like, admittedly, I'm not a big turn-based combat guy.
understandable.
I don't really like, I want to like it. I recognize how, like, deep and cool turn-based combat can be, and the strategy and, like, the, like, real depth you can put into a build doing
Yeah.
it. But after I play it for a couple hours, my brain just shuts off and I don't want to play it anymore. It happens with me with every Pokemon game, every turn-based Final Fantasy. I want to love them so much, but like the first play session wraps up and I'm like, that was fun. Can't wait to come back to it. I never do if it's turn-based. I wish it was different, but I just can't do it. But
get that.
Baldur's Gate is different because it
Yeah.
feels so, it's like it's technically turn-based, but it feels more sandboxy because literally
does.
like anything
can
you
do
can
whatever.
think of you can do, but it's just within turn limits. And that's so cool that they were able to capture that. Like, I think it was Matt Mercer. He like did a live stream and he just stacked like a tower of like powder kegs and like climbed them to get on
Barrelmancy?
top of something. Like,
Oh, fuck yeah.
like during a fight to like get the high ground or something weird like that. Like, you can't do that in Persona. Like,
Yeah, it's... dude, it's... I remember seeing a video of this person who there later on in the game, around Act 2, you'll encounter a character who has a like a smoke powder barrel,
Right.
and they're threatening to blow it up to kill you and your whole party. And like the point of it is that you're supposed to negotiate and try to, like, you know, calm her down. But because of how Baldur's Gate works, you can just like attack her. It's usually not advisable because she'll, unless you kill her immediately, like she'll drop the fireball into it and blow you up. But alternatively, I saw a video of somebody, they made Shadowheart go invisible, sneak around, and steal the barrel. And they actually planned for that. Like, she'll, like, it'll force you back into the cutscene, and the character will look down and see that the barrel is gone and be like, are you fucking kidding me? Or something along those lines. It's
nice.
like, the amount of just love that they put into that fucking game is insane. And then, like, no paid DLCs.
No.
They added like a new subclass for every single fucking class in the game.
Yeah.
They've put in like an insane amount of time fixing the bugs, which, I mean, you know, in and of itself isn't that big a deal because that's expected, but also in this day and age, it's not so much anymore.
Yeah.
And then like they also, when it came, like when it was fully released and like functioning and everything, they put out full mod like ability for everybody, like on console, on PC. They have their own built-in mod managers that you don't need to use anything outside.
Nice. That's so
and like
cool.
all of the mods are quality.
Yeah.
Or just really funny, and they lean into it.
I remember looking at like Nexus mods for Baldur's Gate because I like the my first one I always get is just like WASD movement because I hate clicking to run everywhere on PC, which like literally like put that in it, like it's the most fun PC RPG you'll ever play. But I just saw like there's so many like already just from the mod community, like D&D 5e accurate subclasses. Like everybody's already like mod wise patched in like the actual Dungeons and Dragons accurate stuff. It's really cool.
There's a collection of mods that are straight up that. Like, it's just every single like mainstream 5th edition subclass, even like the more obscure ones. I remember like almost immediately one of the mods that was added was the Pugilist, which is a made up class. Like it's a homebrew class.
Oh, cool.
That is one of the more popular ones because it basically, if you've ever seen D&D and like you think of a monk, right?
Right.
And like monks are really cool. But monks are usually like, you think of monk and you think of like fist fighting, but they're not always optimized to be that, you know? Like, there's usually different things that come into being a monk instead of just being a brute who like beats the shit out of everything. That's what the pugilist class is. You just throw hands. Like, that's
Yeah.
it.
Nice.
And like its subclasses were like lucha wrestling or having a dog or being a part of like a bare knuckle boxing guild. Like it's just cool shit like that. And yeah, dude, like they fleshed out the mod system. They advertised it as well. Like when they were putting out mods for consoles, um like full release with the mod, like the built-in game mod manager. They did like an animated trailer. It was like 6 minutes long. And
Yeah.
they acknowledged a bunch of the more popular mods,
Man, that's
which is just
awesome.
like so fucking cool of them to do. And like it's just that level of passion. I feel like it's the same thing that sets out like Elden Ring for me. Like I don't, like I said, I don't like Elden Ring, but to say that game is anything but a fucking masterpiece, you'd be lying to yourself or an idiot.
Yeah.
Like it's an incredible game. And yeah, I don't know. I could talk for hours about how much I love Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, man, now that I'm like trying to hard reset my attention span and like stop scrolling on social media at night, I want to get back into like those like really deep character RPGs, which is why I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk lately. But Baldur's
Fair.
Gate is it's on my short list of the other one I really want to jump into. The top
It's a
3.
time sink.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I've spent 80 hours in the game already, but it was only in Act 1 because I couldn't decide what
Yo,
class I wanted to play, and I kept starting over and making new characters.
dude, I've beaten that game one fucking time.
Yeah.
I have like 400 hours in it on console, and hold on, let me check how many hours I have in it on Steam.
Yeah, I've played the crap out of Act 1.
I have 41 hours in Act it on PC and like 3, 4, maybe 500 hours on console. And I have beaten that game one time, and that was with friends. I have started new campaigns in that so many times that I had to take a break because I burnt out of specifically Act 1.
Yeah, I feel that. I think that's something that's really magical about RPGs like that, because that takes me back to when I was in high school. That's what we would do with Skyrim. We would get
Yeah.
together, me and my friends, and we would just be like, what cool characters in Skyrim can we make? And we would go around and do dumb things in Skyrim playing as that character. But also, I think I have only played all the way through the story of Skyrim once. Like, as
Damn. I think
much
me too.
hours, like as much time as I have spent in Skyrim. Probably spent more time in Skyrim than most games I've played. I know I've only like beaten the story once, because I usually just get to the point where you can get dragon shouts, and then I'm like, peace, and I
Yeah.
just go do my own thing.
Yeah. Like
Oh man.
the thing about Baldur's Gate that makes it so replayable is just straight up that like every single class has their own dialogue options that will trigger depending on the situation.
Yeah.
As does every single race.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, depend in very specific situations, your subclass also have specific dialogue options.
Yeah,
Like
because oh, go ahead.
I ran through as I did like a big fat hero run, which was a lot of fun. I played a half orc who was
Oh,
an
cool.
Oath of the Ancients paladin. Oath of the Ancients are like the paladins that are for nature. The tenets of your oath as an Oath of the Ancients paladin are like, you know, bring light to darkness, protect the innocent, things like that. So like it's like the ultimate like well, I wouldn't call him lawful good actually. But like the ultimate good boy playthrough, you know?
Yeah, like your
And
Superman, Captain America, Optimus
it's super
Prime
perfect
archetype,
Superman,
like
yeah.
do like the good guy, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like no ambiguity, no like no angst, no Batman level edge. It's just this is the right thing to do, so I'm gonna do it. Except murder. He killed a lot of people.
Hey, they were bad.
Exactly. Like it's look, man, I love Batman, but I don't think Batman has ever dealt with the type of threat you're dealing with in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, I can't
But
remember.
yeah.
There was a thing where like Batman fights Dracula and like Batman kills Dracula. He's like he was already dead, and like
And like shouldn't he come back?
it's like oh, Batman's no kill
Okay.
rule has found a loophole. It's weird, but yeah.
Yeah, like I remember I got really excited because there's an entire section in Baldur's Gate 3 during Act 2 where like you can help a bunch of, I don't remember the name of them, but they're like sentient mushroom people.
Oh yeah, I think I was
The
in the midst of that quest when I stopped playing.
Yeah, and like if you do that as an Oath of the Ancients paladin, you can kind of get like it stays generally the same way, but you get dialogue options specific to it because like this is what you were built for, you know?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Helping this specific scenario, helping nature fight against people trying to destroy it for no good reason. That's like what your entire character as an Oath of the Ancients paladin is built around. So having it actually like acknowledge that like, hey, you're the guy for this was really cool.
Right. That's awesome. And going back to what you were saying, how like every class and even subclass has like different dialogue options. Even deeper than that, like even if you like depending on what spells you have, because like if you have like speak to animals, then you have the dialogue of like talking to every creature you see, which is so cool. And like they actually talk to you instead of just like, oh, interact with the squirrel. Like it's really, that was so cool. Like
it was so cool. Same with it. Also, if you have something letting you read minds, you can just peer into their mind. So you don't like if you're trying to interrogate somebody and you have the ability to just read their mind, you could just skip all that nonsense and just be like, "What you thinking about, boy?" And like
I love that.
It feels like you're playing D&D in a video game.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
Yeah, it's as close as they can get without like being a real human brain with an imagination. Like
exactly,
it is as close as you can emulate within the confines of programming something in like code.
It's like, wild.
Which it's just so neat. I think at this point, my dream Star Wars game, the only people I would trust to develop it would be CD Projekt Red or Larian, and
that's valid.
We probably will never get that, but
no, I don't think so.
It's unfortunate, but especially after Outlaws, man, I'm just like
I never finished Outlaws.
Me neither.
Don't.
Maybe because it sucked, but
yeah, man. I liked the gambling system in it though.
Oh yeah, I did like actually learning how to play Sabacc. That was cool. I want to get a real Sabacc deck and play it in real life now. But
lucky, I'd be down. I think my biggest
the only thing Outlaws made me want to do is go buy a real set of cards and play a game of cards in real life and not play that game anymore.
Yeah, it made me want to go play a different game. Dude, I think since we're on, one of the things we wanted to talk about was pet peeves, and this is a massive one, and it bugged me so much because like it was Ubisoft, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was Ubisoft.
Yeah. And like I think I've bitched to you about this already, but like I'm gonna bitch to your audience about it as well. Ubisoft is like really good for having tight combat usually. Like usually they're like closer quarters combat is usually very nice feeling. Like Watch Dogs 1 and 2, both of those games you have like a signature weapon. Like Marcus has his Thunderball, which I love. Aiden has the baton, which is less cool but still kind of neat. And so like looking like up to it, I was thinking like, your character's a rogue, she's a scoundrel, right? She's she's not exactly shredded. And she's gonna be fighting like dudes in armor. So I was really looking forward to like what kind of system they would have, like like maybe I don't know, like a shock baton or I don't know, some kind of like little dagger or something. No, she just swings on him.
Perhaps literally anything.
Yeah.
But
I will never get over when I saw the animation where you are like hiding behind something in stealth and you like lean out and just bonk him over the head.
yeah, bonk a stormtrooper that's literally wearing a helmet that can actually like resist blaster fire to some degree, but no, she just smacks it with her bare hands.
Yeah.
And
And it's like it's not even a pistol whip. Like if it
No.
was if she was doing it with the gun, I'd be a little more okay with that. And for the record, this isn't some women can't hit that.
I was
hard
literally
shit.
about to say that too.
It's not even that. It's just this is a like. Have you ever punched a helmet? It sucks. Like,
yeah, I think I have like plastic Star Wars cosplay helmets, and I think if
Yeah.
I punch someone in the back of the head with it, I would hurt my hand more than them.
yeah, it's
And yeah, again, this isn't some like women can't do that, because I will say, as much as I don't like Star Wars Outlaws and think it is like
I liked her. I liked her a lot.
I think
She was
she's
a fun
the best
character.
part of the game, and her character
Yeah.
is wasted on a garbage game.
I agree.
Like that opening like mission where you kind of get her like glimpses of her backstory, and you get the feeling like they were like starting to plant the seeds. It's like she's never had a family and she always wants to belong, and so it kind of
Yeah.
seems like she's being a criminal just because she kind of wants to belong to something, and there's like a deeper meaning of her trying to like connect and be a part of something bigger. I was like, this is going to be a really cool character arc. I like this character. I like her funky little alien pet. This is
Yeah.
fun. And then the game was like, hey, how about a big Star Wars scoundrel game, but you get one ship, you get one gun. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's it? Like, I don't know. Maybe
It
I
was
was expecting
just a lot
too
of
much.
no, you were absolute no. Well, okay, yeah, we were, because we should have known it was Ubisoft. It was Ubisoft, so it
I
was gonna
guess.
be mid. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I liked her a lot. She was like, I think one of her major flaws, and this is not like this is just an issue with lazy writing.
Yeah.
While I liked her, she was like the standout of the game. She wasn't exactly like an original or. We've seen that personality type a lot before, you know?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
And that was like one of that was kind of the only issue I had with her character, was that it wasn't exactly original, but she was still like the highlight of
Yeah, for sure.
an otherwise pretty meh game. I liked the like faction system was neat though.
Yeah, that was
Like-
so cool, man. Ugh, like
And
the parts
usual-
of that game that are good are like really good. Like
Yeah.
the faction system, that's really about it.
Yeah.
But it, like her like character and story arc, and like for the first like world you play, like walking around and it feeling like living, breathing Star Wars. Like you're walking around, there's stormtroopers and droids just wandering around. Like
yeah,
you
that
like
felt good.
it feels
The
like going to
world did
Disney
feel
World.
alive.
Like it's just like, wow, I'm in Star Wars. That felt really cool for a bit until you go to other planets and realize like they're nothing. Especially for it boasting the first Star Wars open world game. They really like they were such
Yeah.
small, one-dimensional areas that
And
didn't
that's the
feel
Ubisoft
big.
guarantee, baby. That's that Ubisoft polish.
Man,
You get
I
one
like-
area that's gonna blow your fucking nuts off, and then everything else is gonna just kind of be there.
That sucks because like I would even say like you could take any of the Far Cries and
Yeah.
like just skin Star Wars over that and it would have been a better game. Cuz like I was just bummed like you mean I don't get to like craft my own weapon loadout? I don't get
No.
to like pick my own ship. I don't get to do this. I don't get to do that. Like you just get to like tweak your own one ship and like mod your own one blaster. That was a real bummer. Like you could pick up other guns, but you don't get to keep them. That really made me mad. 'Cause,
Like, it was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, it's just like that was so much fun in Far Cry, being like, ooh, what kit am I gonna build? Ooh, what can I go do to upgrade this gun and like get this weapon holster and like get these better scopes? Like you were kind of like going and doing your own adventures to build your kit. And like you have to do that to get the upgrades in Outlaws, but it's still just like you get the rapid fire mod for your pistol, and that's
Yeah.
it. Like it's a bummer.
It's a massive fucking bummer. And as usual with Ubisoft games, there's like little hints of something really cool
Yeah,
that don't go anywhere.
but yeah, I mean, I've said this since the beginning. They both kind of are underwhelming and sad, but it just sucks because Starfield and Star Wars Outlaws are two half of what could have been one amazing game.
Yeah.
It's like
I tried with Starfield, man.
yeah. If like Starfield had the faction system, the Star Wars world up that Outlaws had, it would be great. Yeah, it's great. Like I had fun with Star Wars Battlefront, like 1 and 2, like
Yeah.
and I had I liked Star Wars Squadrons as well, the like VR flight game, but it's crazy that like the only Star Wars games that have like home run knocked it out of the park since like LucasArts got disbanded has been like the Jedi games. Like,
Yeah.
those
And
games,
like, they're
but
so fucking fun.
at least they make up for it. It's like
I never finished Survivor actually.
I 100%ed both of those games.
I 100%ed multiple times Fallen Order.
Nice.
I 100%ed it again, like leading up to the release of Survivor, and then I think it's because on PS5 it had some frame issues.
Oh yeah, it definitely did.
And like, you know, it was fine at first, but then having like being stuck at a consistent 40 got frustrating over time. And I mean, you know, that's kind of a me thing for being so like accustomed to higher frame rates.
Yeah, I
could
get
have
it.
just tugged it out. But like, I don't know. I also just that entire opening section, I hated.
Oh, when he's like taken prisoner and like breaks out.
Yeah. I loved how they did the tutorial, having it be like reminding you of his own abilities instead of just wiping that like he progressed as much as he did in the first game. I really liked that because that was something I was really nervous about, that they were gonna like, you know, do some shenanigans, and instead they were just showing you his capabilities from a game perspective.
For sure.
But like it was more so just the writing.
Yeah.
Like the dialogue, it felt so fucking Avengers. Which is a bad thing in my eyes.
I get it.
It just felt very like Disney level dialogue, which was a major far cry from Fallen Order that had like, for the most part, some pretty emotional story beats with a good amount of humor.
For sure.
And like I enjoyed what I played of Survivor, but just I don't know, that opening section just it didn't like gross me out enough to like stop playing the game. But I remember there being multiple times where I had to stop to just be like,
I do remember being like a little like not like completely like off put, but like yeah, that writing could be better. But like once you get out of that opening and then get to the real game,
then
I remember it being like fine after that for sure.
Yeah, like it was a noticeable, and it's I think it's just, you see this a lot. Like The Last of Us 2 with Abby's dad is a really good example of like just how we're only gonna have this character on screen for X amount of minutes. Let's overload how cool and likable they are.
That was one thing. Yeah, like they introduced this whole like heist crew that is Cal's friends, and then it's just like, oh,
they all die.
All right, cool. I guess that was for nothing. What was the point of any of that? But,
It's just, I don't know. Like I get it. You want them to be, you want to maximize their likableness during their limited time on screen.
Yeah.
But when you overdo it and you do it wrong, it's immediately just gonna be like, oh, this guy's gonna die. Okay.
Yeah.
Like immediately you just know.
I totally get what you're saying there, man.
Oh yeah, spoilers, your entire crew in Jedi Survivor die.
But don't worry, that's only like the first like 20 minutes of the game.
You never met him before, and you never see him again.
And guess what? 20 minutes after that, you won't even remember them. So it's fine. But, man. Yeah, I once I beat it, I remember thinking, like, I feel like the story of Jedi Fallen Order is a 10 out of 10, but the game was, like, an 8 out of 10, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
And then, like, Jedi Survivor, like, the game was a 10 out of 10, but the story was an 8. So it's like they're equal, but flipped for me. But, yeah, like...
That was another thing. Because of the frame rate issues, like, the combat was always a little bit under the enjoyment level that it could have been.
Yeah, because, like, the time, you have to be pretty good on that timing.
Yeah.
It's like Sekiro gameplay light. So, like, the parry timing's pretty important. You know, all of that, especially if you're trying to do those side mission bosses. So, if you're not, like, if you're dropping frames consistently in those more high octane points, it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, insanely. I think my issue, like, why I'm fine with, like, a game like Kingdom Come Deliverance being, like, uber difficult, or, like, a game like Sifu being super difficult. I think the deciding thing for me is often, like, story.
I get that, yeah.
And how invested I am in the characters. One of my biggest issues, and I recognize that this is on purpose, and, you know, like, it is like an active choice, and some people like it, some people don't. I don't like that, like, the story in... I'm trying to be fucking nice here.
Go ahead.
I hate the way they deliver stories in the Dark Souls games that I've played.
Yeah.
Because I would love to know what the fuck is happening, but I very rarely do.
I get it. Like, I totally get it.
As a result, I'm not gonna... If I paid money for an experience, I don't want to have to go out of my way to, like, get an understanding of what I'm experiencing. To an extent, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm getting my shit pushed in, I would at the very least like to know what the story is without having to go out of my way to find out about it.
That is
and
a
again,
shame.
I recognize that that's, like, you know, some people love that shit, and I am a fan to an extent of, like, games that don't hold your hand. But I don't know. It always was so difficult for me to fully grasp what was happening, and as such, I just didn't care. Like,
yeah,
I remember in Baldur's Gate 3. I'll shut up after this.
No.
In Baldur's Gate 3, there was this really difficult fight in Act 2 when I was in like, underground in that one, like, temple system. There's this, like, demon, right? And they ambush you. And I did that, like, 12 times. And every single time, I fucking died. But I learned every single time how to do it better, like, things like that. Which is what those games are about. And, like, I think it's, like... And I remember actually beating him finally, and being so excited.
Yeah.
And, like, just whenever I beat a boss in, like, Elden Ring... or Bloodborne more so, because I played more Bloodborne than any of the other Souls types.
Oh, cool.
It never, like, that doesn't trigger for me on those games. It's just, like, I see it more so as, like, a burden than, like, I did it! It's like, cool, this is out of the way now. Fucking finally.
I think I understand the difference of why, like, I like the games, and, like, you don't enjoy them as much. I think, like, for you, like you're saying, like, you want to know why you're fighting this thing.
Yeah, I love me a story.
And for me, the bloodlust is all I need. I'm like, big monster that I get to kill. All right, sounds good. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah, and, like, I can get into monster. Actually, no. You know what? Now that I say that, no, I think it is that. Yeah, like, even with Monster Hunter. Like, I don't really give all that much of a shit about Monster Hunter when there's no story going on. So yeah, I think it is just straight up, like, I want a reason behind why I'm doing it. And I know that, like, you know, the Elden Ring games, they have these complex stories behind the scene.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if it's just that I don't have the patience or the energy. I know, actually, no, I know it's partly that I don't have the patience because I don't want to get my shit pushed in for 6 hours in a row. And for like a story that I have to try insanely hard to like unravel, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
for a story that you basically have to like approach like a literal archaeologist trying to uncover
Yeah,
like ancient history to understand.
I'm glad you
It
understand because I've talked to
I
some
get what
people
you're
about
saying.
this, and they're always just like, "Try harder" and shit. And it's like, I hope you fall down
Yeah.
the fucking stairs first of all.
The Souls community is
It's
really
terrible.
annoying for
Yeah,
that. Like I hate when they're just like just get good, just blah blah blah. I'm like no, like because it's really interesting you mentioned it. I have always been of the belief that like they're not hard. Like I know that sounds crazy, but the Souls-like games are not hard. They just require an insane amount of patience. That's
yeah.
it.
And
Like
I'm not a
if you
patient person.
yeah, exactly. So if like you wait, like if you are okay with getting kicked to the ground over and over again and being like, "Oops, can't do it. I'm gonna go grind for a couple hours to like over level my character and come back and be stronger." If you're patient enough, they're so fun.
Yeah, and actually,
But if you don't, they're not fun.
and that's another thing that reminds me of another like thing. Just the satisfaction of killing something that like I've put in a lot of effort towards killing, like
Hmm.
that isn't enough for me, you know? Because that just usually doesn't trigger all that much for me. It's not like the whole like I don't know, just that satisfaction of hard work doesn't trigger with those games
Yeah, I feel
for
that.
me, and I don't know why. Like it triggers in every other aspect of my life. Like I get that
Hmm.
dopamine burst. Um
Yeah.
but like just with these games, it's I don't know. It just doesn't hit for me. Like I wish it did.
Yeah.
But it's like I really want to enjoy Bloodborne. But there's
Man.
just so many little things in that when I'm getting into it, it's just like I don't
I
want to
can't
do this.
remember. Do you have Game Pass?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I might recommend Lies of P. It's the story is a little bit more direct. Like they actually like kind of insanely let you know what's going on,
Oh,
and but it feels a lot like the good parts of Bloodborne, but with like
yeah, I've
Sekiro
heard
or
good things
Jedi
about
Fallen
it.
Order parry timing. But the story is a lot more direct, and it kind of sucks because I agree with you. Like to me, I think player communication is a very important thing in video games, and there are like really cool stories in those games, but like at the same time, all of it at this point technically is just theorized. There's no like on paper canon explanation for everything. So all the story is just people have read item descriptions and cutscenes and piece things together, and there are people on YouTube who have done like video essays on it and just like
Yeah.
understood, like people are like that's what happened. Like the creator has never confirmed or denied anything. It's crazy.
Yeah, which is like
Um,
cool in and of itself, but I I remember Destiny did
mhm.
lore in that way. Like a lot of Destiny lore you
Yeah, that's
wouldn't be
true.
told unless you like went out of your way to go and read about it.
Hmm.
And that's fine, but I don't think a story should be done that way.
Yeah, because
All that much.
for sure, because Destiny like did a great balance. All of that is like the past,
Yeah.
and like while you're playing, there's a very like clear and defined story that you're in at the moment. But Dark Souls is like the story that you're in at the moment. You don't know what's going on either. So
Yeah.
it's yeah,
Uh,
I get I appreciate it for what it is as its own form of storytelling, but I could never fault someone for not being able to get into that.
I remember did I tell you about the game Empire of the Ants? I think I might
No,
have.
but That sounds.
You know how
That sounds
much
like
I
an
love
Austin
ants.
game.
Yeah. So it's exactly how it sounds. It's a game where you play an ant. It takes place in this like I guess somebody for some reason wrote a fucking book about like an alternate universe where everything is the same except that like wood ants are more intelligent than they actually are. That's it.
Okay.
They're like sentient, and I think there's a little bit of magic involved somehow. But yeah, that's just some background lore. Empire of the Ants as a game is just like it's a RTS game, but you play as an ant and you control ants fighting other things. And like, don't get me wrong, as much as I adore that game, it's like as an RTS, it's pretty fucking mid. Like it follows like a rock paper scissors kind of mechanism for enemies, in that, you know, like oh, you have the warrior type that are good for this, but their weakness is ranged. And then you have the ranged guys who are good against the warriors, but their weakness are the worker ants. And then the worker ants, their weakness is the warrior ants. And so it's just kind of rock, paper, scissors.
Right.
And like it's got a whole story to it, which was cute. But there was an entire section of the game after something insanely important happened where like it's revealed that like high treason has been done, and that like your queen is like on insane amounts of fuck shit, and they have like essentially the SS. Like they have a secret police, and like you get like a gist of it during like a little cutscene thing. But then you just end up in a different area. No, wait, no, sorry. Actually, like that part isn't even explained in the cutscene. Like you have a cutscene and then things fade to black, and then you're in a completely different area, traversing this like puddle, but like, you know, you're the size of an ant, so it's like a massive fucking body of water, but it's actually just like a small puddle in a ditch, which was very cute. But like everything that happened to lead you from where you were to where you are now is done through the optional collectible flashback things. Up until that point are usually like, you know, you got to go out of your way to find them.
Right.
And it will and up into that point it would always be something like not entirely related to what was happening. It would be like some fun little lore or an Easter egg, or just like just kind of like world building stuff. But in this section, as you're going along, and like they place them in front of you, so you'd have to actively avoid them or miss them. I missed one of them, which like pissed me off. But like the story that you missed because they decided to just not show you it is revealed through that, and I hated that. It's such
really
a
frustrating.
silly way to do it.
So it's just like the story has been optional until it isn't.
No, like the story has been been clear and blatant to you. But then all of a sudden, for some reason, to like get the gist of the very important thing that caused you to go from loyal to your queen to switching sides and starting a civil war against her, is explained in an optional collectible. And it's like, who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
Yeah.
It was very silly. I don't like that they did that. I love the game otherwise, but that was just so very silly.
That is a really dumb way to unfold that story.
It bugged me so much. But just because I fucking adore that game, and one thing that I really liked that like made me feel insanely uneasy about that game, in like a cool way, there's a section where like there's a big ass rock in like the middle of the entire board, right? And on top of that big ass rock is a spider, and everywhere you go, the spider is actively watching you.
I hate that.
And like they full on like they have it so that it will go around the rock and like keep watching you, and they don't draw attention to it. So like I didn't notice until I was just like, you know, I was watching a fight go down, And then I looked, like, I just started kind of looking around, and I saw that, like, the spider was watching me. And then, like, I just kind of continued, and then, like, I looked back up there, and it was still watching me in a new location, and so I started moving around, and, like, yeah, it just actively will move to watch you. And that's so cool. Really
Is it
fucking
just like
weird, but
background to like add to atmosphere and spook you
yeah,
out, or is it
it
like
doesn't
something
do
you have to
anything.
fight? Oh,
No,
okay.
you never interact with it. There are spiders that you can fight in the game. Um but like it's just you never interact with it in any way. It just sits there and watches things happen.
Oh.
And I just it's so like gross, but it's also so like cool, I feel.
Yeah, that is
It's
cool.
so like uncomfortable feeling, you
It's
know?
kind of like I like big things like that that are just there to be cool.
Yeah.
Like I pick on Sony lately because like, and I always say like all they do is like Last of Us, God of War, and Horizon. Like they don't have any other IPs that they care about anymore. But to give God of War some credit because it is a good game. I'm just mad that Sony won't make new like exclusives like
And
when
that's
I was a
valid.
kid. I love when you go to like was it Helheim and just like that giant bird is just sitting there in the
Oh yeah.
background and like it does nothing but sit there and be cool. And like and of course it has like Norse mythology lore that you can like learn about, but like its
It's
only
just
function
there,
there
yeah.
is to be lore accurate and be like, what's that guy's deal? Like you don't fight it. Like
Yeah,
it's just there and it's sick. I love that so much.
Warhammer 40K Space Marines 2
Ooh.
has something similar to that in the campaign. But like so they have these things, the Imperium of Man,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, you know, super space fascism, has this thing. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's like a Colossus or something. But it's this giant fucking cathedral on top
Right.
of a giant fucking war robot.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. And like they're like a massive deal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
For obvious reasons. And I'm talking like genuinely fucking massive.
Yeah, like Titan level, not like
Yeah. It's like
yeah.
you know Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah.
Like that size of shit.
Nice.
And they are armed to the teeth. They have like an entire fucking like they have this. I'm not gonna go into the assortment of weird shit that happens in that universe, but yeah, like there's just like they're a massive deal. And usually if one is present, that means there is a massive threat on that planet. And
Mm-hmm.
in Space Marines 2, on one of the planets during the campaign, you can see one destroyed out in the distance.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's just it's such a nut it never acknowledges it,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't touch on it. It's just there.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
for
such a
those who know, which is
exactly,
awesome. Yeah.
exactly. It's such like a great way of like ambient storytelling to really get to the point across that like, hey man, shit's kind of fucked here.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I really
Yeah.
like that.
Dude, that game fucks so hard. I think you'd like it.
Speaking of Space Marines 2 and giant robots, the developers of Space Marines 2 said that they are currently developing a game using a tentpole Hasbro IP, which
Oh
means
yeah, you told me
could
about
be
this.
G.I. Joe or Transformers.
Yeah.
I
I
really
hope
hope
it's
it's a new Transformers
Transformers.
game.
Yeah. I'm
Because man, we we Transformers fans are like
yeah,
scrambling for crumbs at this point.
y'all are
Like,
starving.
yeah.
But hey dude, don't worry, soon we'll get The Last of Us part 1, the like 18th release. So, you know, get excited.
It's all but at this point like Sony being like they're gonna do like a PS5 launch title remastered for like late console cycle PS5. Like
Yep.
I swear it frustrates me so much. Everything but Bloodborne, but
The only I understood initially when they did the remaster because they put out the game and then the PS4 came out later, like not very long after. So it was like,
Mhm.
you know what? Let's get it out there. And then
Yeah.
I understood when they put out The Last of Us Part 1, because it was an actual like it was not a remaster, it was a remake, and it was a significant one, you know? Like they changed a lot. They made the game look significantly better. Just everything about it is a major step up from the original game. Then they put out the second, they re-released the second game, which, okay, I get it, you know, PS5, you want to bump it up, sure. They added a new game mode, which is a lot of fun. And then they released them both for PC, which, sure, you know, sure, okay? It's not necessary. You don't need to give a specific PC version. You could just port it over. But sure, let's do a whole marketing campaign for that, I guess. And then they did like The Last of Us Complete.
Yeah.
Which is just from what I understand, it's just a more expensive version of the two games with nothing new. And it's just like, guys, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, come on, man.
Oh, but Nintendo and the Switch 2 is like the Antichrist of gaming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know, I was gonna say this earlier, but like we got completely off track. Just on Cyberpunk, the fact that like Cyberpunk when it initially dropped could not be run in an efficient manner on at the time consoles, and then to have it drop on Switch 2 and run flawlessly, from my understanding, is fucking insane.
It is crazy. Also, like, there's a lot of like misinformation and discourse that's just like super toxic surrounding the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Just people like being like, ooh, boo, boo, boo. But and like so many like kind of like people with like the Souls games where it's like just get good. There's so many annoying people that are like, why would you get a Switch 2 when you could just get a Steam Deck? It does more. The Switch 2 literally outperforms the Steam Deck. Cyberpunk runs better on my Switch 2 than it does on my Steam Deck.
So
like,
and also like you have Nintendo exclusives.
Yeah.
Like I
man,
don't.
Donkey Kong was so good.
Yeah, it's why I never invested in an Xbox. Why would I? When I could get a PlayStation so that I could play PlayStation exclusives, and then I could just have like, you know, if this like if you don't have the money, obviously don't.
Yeah.
But like you could just get a PC and you have access to everything that Xbox players have access to.
Yeah,
with
for
the exception
sure.
of like Gears of War 2 and 3.
And even that's starting to go everywhere
they're working
else
on
now.
putting that out. But now, and this is good overall, but like a weird decision from Sony, I'm happy for it because I'm a big fan of let everybody play everything. But it's just it doesn't make sense from a business perspective for Sony to do this. But like they're releasing like every single Sony exclusive on PC. And like I don't know, that doesn't seem like the smartest of ideas. And whilst also having like just if you're gonna do that, stop having exclusives.
Yeah, I agree. I guess it makes sense because it's like it just opens up your customer base. Like people that wouldn't have bought your product on will now buy your product. It's always made sense for my Xbox because Microsoft makes PC and Xbox.
Yeah.
So whether you're playing on PC or Xbox, they've got you in their pocket.
Exactly.
But like Sony, it does make a little less sense. But I guess the thing there is they're just expanding their customer base. But
it also is likely related to that, like, you know, people don't give that much of a shit about exclusives anymore. Like there was a good 6, 7, maybe I'll stretch it out to 10 years where like exclusives were the thing for the console wars. But now nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, I would say like mid or maybe even like the end of like the first third of like Xbox One, PS4 generation is where that kind of like started to die or died entirely. Because I remember like working at GameStop and people would come in all the time. And like if you would ask me when I was in high school, like which one's better, I would have had a definitive answer. But when I worked at GameStop and people were like, which one's better, Xbox or PlayStation? All of us at work would be like,
depends what you're interested in.
They're both the same, man. It just like whatever you like, and what really the answer always boiled down for us to like, where are your friends at?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
That's the better one, so you can play online with your buddies. Like whatever your friends have is the better console for you.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. And I would say that's the same like now. Like when people are like, just get a Steam Deck, you can emulate the Switch games. Yeah, but you can't play Mario Party online with your friends
Yeah.
who also have a Switch if you're playing on the Steam Deck. Like that's the reason people get a console. They want the like package deal
Yeah.
of like that brand experience. So
That's
yeah.
exactly what I was gonna say. Like on the topic of like just Nintendo in general. And this is this is kind of drinking the Kool-Aid. I recognize that, but like, you know, when you get something from Nintendo, like they put their whole fucking Nintendosi into
Yeah.
like optimizing it for that specific thing because of how monopolized
Yeah.
they like to be. So like
Yeah, for sure.
you're getting the best possible experience doing it this way, and from my understanding, a majority of the time, like it's gonna be like noticeable.
Yeah, I've said it on previous episodes. I don't want games to start being $80.
Yeah, it's been that way
Nobody
in
wants
Canada
that.
for a while.
But if there was any company that I would trust to deliver a fully complete game experience day one that I can actually play and get my money's worth out of, it's gonna be Nintendo. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
other than Pokemon, like.
Okay.
I can already hear the Pokemon fans typing in chat. It's like, I get Pokemon's a completely different ball game. Pokemon's been getting the short end of the stick since the 3DS pretty much. But yeah, like any other game, like
What the fuck, dude?
what happened, man?
I'm gonna screenshot this so you can see this.
Okay.
There was like this weird rock over in the pond. And like it had like, I swear to God, I heard a Geiger counter when I got close to it. So I started fishing, and I caught it, and it said, "Catch! You caught a shining, unidentified fish object. It's 111.18 centimeters." And then like the under thing just says, "What the fuck?"
It looks like it's a dog.
It's a dog. How lucky
That
you
thing-
found a bonus coin. Here, I'm gonna send it to you now.
That thing looks wrong. But yeah, like, I hate to say it, like, I don't want to be one of those Nintendo fanboys that's just, like, a shill for Nintendo. But, like, if Animal Crossing got announced and it was, like, coming out in a week and Animal Crossing was going to be an $80 game, I'd buy it day one because I know I'm going to get $80 worth out of it. It's like...
there's a lot of issues with how Nintendo runs things these days, but one of the most consistent things with Nintendo is that you get what you fucking pay for with them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, again, not defending their like scummy practices because they do a lot wrong too. They have a lot of anti-consumer practices.
Big
I
time.
get that,
Like,
but
basically kneecapping anybody that has the audacity to record something on it.
yeah. At the same time, I trust them to deliver and give you what you pay for better than any of the other AAA companies.
I agree. Like, I made the joke earlier about the Ubisoft polish, but like genuinely, there is like some amount of, and like I've seen this with every single fucking why did I just hit the fent lane by accident? Whoops. Like every time that I've seen somebody play a Nintendo game, like of the more modern ones, like I remember Super Mario Odyssey. That game was charming as fuck. That new Donkey Kong game that I like caught you streaming. Like Animal Crossing, just as a whole, like they have a fucking, they know that there's an expectation for their quality of games, and like the specific feeling that their games like bring to the people, if that makes sense, and they do their best to stick to it. Again, they do a lot of shit that I don't like. I don't like monopolization in general, but if you're gonna monopolize, do it like Nintendo does, where like the product is actually consistently fantastic, instead of just, hey, so we gave you like kind of a piece of garbage, good luck. But just on that topic.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, a testament to that for me is like Donkey Kong was $70, and I was like, I with full confidence will buy this, knowing I'll get my money's worth out of it. And Borderlands 4 is coming out, and it's $70, and I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna be worth it. Like
Borderlands 2, but not as funny.
Yeah, like so like and from what I've heard, like early stuff, like seems like it's going to be a great game, but like I don't have the confidence that that is going to be worth $70 to me. Whereas when Nintendo releases a first party game that's $70, I'm like, yeah, that's going to be worth $70.
I feel like with Borderlands, I don't think there will ever be a Borderlands game that is as successful or popular as 2 ever.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's I think it ultimately boils down to just simply being that like there's not much you can do with Borderlands to change the mold, you know?
I hear Aubrey typing in the comment section right now.
Like
Furiously, keycaps flying off his keyboard.
because you can implement, you know, like the different elemental weapons. You can implement all the different like new powers for each character. Having the sirens do new shit every single time. I remember thoroughly enjoying like just the new shit that they threw in with 3 with like the guy that owned the pets. Like that was really cool.
Oh yeah, the Beastmaster guy.
Yeah, but like ultimately every single Borderlands game boils down to loot and shoot, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's hard to market that game when every other Borderlands game is already that, with slight variations. And I'm a big fan of Borderlands. I loved 3. I enjoyed the pre-sequel. I loved 2. I didn't love 3. I enjoyed 3 enough. I didn't play much of Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Right.
And like I loved the Telltale Borderlands game. That was fantastic. Like I'm a big fan of the series, but like just realistically, there's not much they can do to vary in those games every single time that they release it. And they've been smart to like stagger releases in this in a mostly significant manner. Like it took like what 7 years before we got Borderlands 3 after the pre-sequel, and that was a good call. Yeah. But then they put out Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which was not very interesting or fun from what I played. And now we already have 4 coming out, and it's just like pump the brakes and maybe focus on something else for the time being.
Yeah, like I also like I'm not sure. I just think like Borderlands to me is such a product of its time.
That as well, yeah.
And that time is past.
I think so too.
And I mean, again, like Aubrey, who we know, he's a diehard Borderlands fan. That's probably going to be his favorite game that comes out this year. I know he's fuming listening to this right now.
But it's true. Like I feel like Borderlands 2 was a fantastic mix of good story, emotional story beats, really, at least to me, really funny humor. But it didn't jerk itself off, you know?
Right.
Borderlands 3, and this is gonna piss Aubrey off. This is a real fucking hot take for Borderlands fans. Borderlands 3 felt like a parody of Borderlands to an extent.
Okay.
The thing that made me come to that conclusion, because I was iffy about it, but overall I was enjoying it. When I got to the Rick and Morty reference boss fight,
oh boy,
is when I was like, all right, guys, come on.
Yeah, it's a very specific like brand of humor, and I think it's just hard because unfortunately, like Borderlands is very like it relies on its humor, and for its specific brand of humor, it kind of has to be like memey and in with the internet kids,
and that's not
like
cool
how
anymore.
how fast that moves as well. Yep. Like if you're developing a game and write a joke, by the time that game's finished, everyone's gonna think that joke's stupid.
And that is how, like, just to, you know, fucking send some love somewhere else. That is one of the things that has kept South Park in the green, because they like write and animate and do everything within a week.
Yeah, they're like on it because like it literally is current. Like every single episode.
And like, I think just in general as well, like the current generation doesn't like they're not really that into like pop culture references anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, you gotta be real fucking bam with it, you know? Like you gotta snipe that shit. And just
Yeah.
just the way that like AAA game design works, you can't do that. And as such, it's just
Yeah.
not gonna work
Yeah.
a lot of the time. Like it's just
I,
also I
oh,
think
go
just
ahead.
losing this might be also controversial. Losing Anthony Birch, the head writer of Borderlands
Uh-huh.
2,
Oh.
it just, in general was rough.
Yeah, because there's people like he actually had like experience writing for like comedy, like TV and movies before
Yeah,
the game, right?
I think
So
so.
like,
He has a
just
really
take
funny.
away.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's just like you take away all the internet humor, and at the end of the day, he's still a good comedy writer.
Exactly. Like
Like,
it's still good comedy without
mm-hmm.
relying on pop culture references and edginess. And
Yeah,
like
he understands just how to make something funny, like, and
exactly.
how to craft a joke and dialogue. And all this to be said, I really hope like always. I hope I'm proven wrong.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I hope Borderlands 4 kills it, and
I would fucking love it to kill it.
I hope people look back at this podcast and be like, haha, Carl, you were wrong. You didn't know what you were talking about.
Dude,
Like, good. I'm glad Borderlands 4 killed it in
dude,
2025.
imagine for
If
some reason like this specific episode like breaks into the mainstream massively, and then Borderlands 4 is game of the fucking like century. Game of the fucking year. Like
that
it's
would be
just
so
an
funny.
absolute masterpiece. And so
My going viral moment is people just being like,
you're a
look
fucking
how
idiot.
wrong
Yeah.
this guy was about Borderlands 4. Like, oh, man. Something like that happened recently. It was
Really?
weird. Oh, yeah. Like, it not like viral, but somebody uploaded a video where they redid the intro to Fallout 3 in Unreal Engine.
Oh,
And
sick.
somebody was like, I wish they would do this in real life. And I was like, yeah, that'd be nice, but that would require Bethesda to
Give a
ditch
shit?
Creative
Oh.
Engine and actually use another thing. That's never going to happen. Literally the day after they announced the Oblivion remaster, and they're like, using Unreal Engine 5, my Instagram notifications were nothing but people commenting, well, what now? This comment aged like milk. And I'm like, okay, guys, I get it. I was wrong.
Yeah,
But
I hate that kind of shit because it's so like it's a look how wrong you were, and it's just like yeah, I was wrong.
yeah,
I don't what now?
even though technically I wasn't wrong because they still used Creative Engine and they just ran Creative Engine through Unreal Engine to process the visuals. So they still didn't ditch Creative
I
Engine.
mean, yeah,
But
like it's fucking
but
Bethesda. They're lazy as
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah,
There's a
which is
there's the
really
hot take
funny.
of the fucking of the the episode.
Yeah,
I got a
Bethesda.
lot of mean opinions about Bethesda these days.
Oh, me too. Well, not mean, but like sad. Like,
I don't know, man.
like
If you're gonna put out a game and you're gonna rely almost exclusively like if you on modders fixing your fuck ups, I
yeah.
hope you fall down the stairs. You're an asshole, you know?
I have like sad 50s housewife that can't speak
Yeah.
ill of her husband that's
Yeah.
just like opinions about Bethesda because like they just used to be my favorite and I'm
Yeah.
like pining for the glory days as if it's some like abusive relationship but
I understand that.
but yeah, like post Skyrim Bethesda, actually no, I'll say post Doom 2016 Bethesda is just rough for me, sadly.
See, like the way that I see it, and I think we've talked about this before, but like it was acceptable for Oblivion and like the newer the older Fallouts, though I think they were more Obsidian. I don't remember.
New Vegas was,
Yeah,
but not Fallout 3.
yeah,
Well,
like it was okay
yeah.
for like Fallout 3, Oblivion, and Skyrim to be like buggy as fuck because they were
Yeah.
still like they were still low, like they were still unknown. Like scrappy, Bethesda was still an unknown, scrappy little company that, despite their low budget and shit, were making massive waves in
Right.
the gaming industry. But now you're not. You're AAA now, guys.
Yeah, I
Let's lock
remember
in.
like loving Bethesda to at the point where like in high school watching E3 every year. I remember the first year Bethesda got their own conference. And I'm like, Bethesda finally made it. They're big enough to where they're contending with like EA and Ubisoft where they have their own showcase at E3. Ever since you've been big enough to have your own showcase at E3, like you gotta lock in.
Yeah, and it's like
and they haven't.
Yeah, I've not played Starfield enough to feel comfortable to shit on it as much as I want to.
I'll do it for you. Just kidding.
And it's also I got a buddy of mine who might watch this, who is a massive Starfield fan. To the point that like whenever it's mentioned, he immediately goes on the defensive. And I love him. I fucking love him. Shout out my boy Scotty.
Hey, Scotty, if you love that game as much as you do, man, I like more power to you. I wish I had that love in my heart for that game because I wanted to have that love in my heart. Yeah. I'm so glad you're there. No Man's Sky is that game for me.
Dude,
I get
No Man's Sky
I get what it's like to love a game that everyone else hates. So I like more power to you, Scotty. Shout out.
Oh, and you know what? Just because he got jokingly upset about it. Shout out my boy Isaac. Just in general, you're fucking cool, man.
Nice.
I'm really proud of you for getting for going for your masters. That's rad as fuck. There we go. Now don't fucking text me that I didn't shout
discovering.
You out.
Congratulations on discovering gravity, and because an apple fell on your head.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's the only Isaac I could think of.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I played like an hour of Starfield. And I think the thing that stood out the most to me about Starfield was like I liked the like character building system. I liked the little perk system. That was cool. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good way to like personalize an experience. I really liked the one that was like you have a good relationship with your parents and they send you money, but you occasionally have to go and visit them. That's very cute. I like that a lot.
Yeah, to defend Starfield while backhanding it in the same like hand stroke, I think everything like Starfield is like the bones and foundation of like the best space RPG you could ever find in the most boring, bland sci-fi universe that's ever been created, and that's the problem for me. Like the game itself, all the RPG mechanics, the way the game controls, the gun feel, the ship, like everything about the ships. I spent like probably like 25 hours of my playthrough alone in the ship builder. It is so fun. I love how you can build the ships in that game. Everything about it, so good. The fact that it's just like a realistic depiction of like what would happen if like humanity like dispersed and went and tried to colonize space.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's so boring to me. Like it's such a bummer. Like everything feels so empty and dismal. Like
I think
especially
it's like just Mass Effect did it better.
Yeah, like I am spoiled by loving Star Wars and like Mass Effect and Star Trek. Like, where are my sentient alien races? Where are my like crazy civilizations of like this planet has this aliens that settled this thing? But like, it just feels so empty and sad for a sci-fi universe to me, and that's what really bums me out. And like, do you mind if I like spoil the story? Like,
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, if anybody cares about the Starfield story, it made me so angry because early on you're like finding these relics in these ancient ruins, and they're giving you like these space powers, right? And
I think you told me about this.
And it's just like, whoa, there's these beings from beyond trying to contact us. What are they? They could be an alien civilization from beyond uncharted space. And I'm like, whoa, cool. We're finally going to get our like alien sci-fi stuff. You find them, it's like you having transcended evolution
Yeah.
in a time loop, and it's just like you from the future as a transcendent being. It's like,
Cool.
that's
The
so
lamest
boring.
option.
Like once I got to that story point, I was like, I'm done with this game. This sucks. I hate this.
That's fair. That's such a bummer though.
Because I want aliens. I want like, yeah, like, yeah, more than just like people are like nerd emoji. Actually, there are plenty of aliens, but they're all just like big crab trying to bite you on planet. Like, I want sentient alien civilizations with like weird, outlandish Isaac Asimov like cities they've built. Like,
Am I rocking with big crab?
I am. If there's also like crazy alien things like Mass Effect talking to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just was, especially again coming from Bethesda, because Fallout takes like retrofuturism and like apocalypse fiction and takes everything about those genres and cranks it up to 11 because it is such a love letter to those genres, right?
Yeah.
Same with Elder Scrolls. It takes everything that's fun about fantasy and stuffs it into a blender and makes the biggest love letter to fantasy as a genre as possible. And so I expected that out of their sci-fi game. I expected them to take everything that's fun about sci-fi, stuff it into a blender, and make this crazy sci-fi RPG. But it's like, no. There's just like no aliens.
It's a bummer.
Which is a bummer to me. Everything else about the game, pretty cool.
Yeah, again, I can't speak much on it. Like everything negative that I could say about Starfield would be like negatives that other people have said that I've not myself experienced. And I'm trying to do that less.
Yeah, I get that. Like, because it just bugs me when, like, again, as a Star Wars fan, when people just parrot other people's opinions of like the sequel trilogy or something on the internet. I'm like, you didn't form that thought. You just heard Star Wars theory say that. I don't, like, watch the movie and form your own opinion. And like, we should do the same for games as well.
Absolutely.
Like, if you haven't played it, all media, like, yeah, I get it.
You know, I will say, as somebody who has watched the Star Wars prequels multiple times, they're frustrating because like they will have simultaneously some of the raddest moments like in it, and then Jar Jar Binks is right fucking there. And it's like, oh right, I hate this.
Yeah, like I get it. Like, that's the thing that like frustrates me. Like, people who don't like the Disney sequel trilogy, like 7, 8, and 9, and they're like, the prequels are way better. I'm like, they're just as bad in a different way. And it's always like a generational revisionist history, because I grew up when those were coming out. Everyone hated them when they came out. Now the sequels are out. Everyone loves them.
Yeah, and that's always going to be how things are.
When we get a new Star Wars trilogy, like 10 years in the future, everyone's going to be like, actually, I really like the sequels, and this new trilogy sucks.
Yeah, it's like we had that with Cyberpunk, and here comes a fucking potential hot take if you're a moron. I hate people saying that, like, dude, Cyberpunk was always fucking peak. No, it wasn't. That game was a flaming pile of garbage on launch, regardless of what you played it on. Yeah, it ran especially bad on specific things, but let's not sit here and act like they didn't Indiana Jones swap out like the fucking like super cool treasure with a flaming pile of dog shit. Like, Cyberpunk on launch was bad. It was missing so much of what they said they would put out. And I recognize that it's not entirely the fault of CD Projekt Red, but I also kind of don't give a shit when I'm spending money on your product.
Yeah. I get that.
And like, it's just, now that game fucks insanely hard, but I'm so tired of people being like, I loved it from the start. Okay, so either you're lying or you're a moron, because you should not have loved that game from the jump. Like, the vibe of it remained consistent. One of the primary things that I would always say when I was talking about Cyberpunk when it first released was, it barely works as a game, but the fucking world building in it is genuinely some of the greatest world building I have ever seen in any piece of media.
Yeah. Guess what, Austin?
What?
I'm about to tell you something you're gonna hate. I've loved it since day one.
I don't know. I don't get it, man. Fucking how?
But like you just said it, like when I was playing it, like I dove right into the world and right into the story. And like I was looking at the story and the world building and like sure it was buggy, but I'm like, whatever. I'm going to ignore that bug and like take it for the story and the world that I'm in. Fully immerse myself like an RPG and like I was enjoying it for that. And I'm like, man, this game's great.
Maybe
I
I'm
love
the
the story,
asshole.
the characters, the writing, blah, blah, blah. But, like, no, it was a buggy mess. Also, I tend to, like when I play a game, I, like, fully, like,
You don't
immerse
you're cool with
myself
it. You're like you're down
when
for
I'm
some
there.
bugs, right?
Yeah, number one, I'm down for some bugs, and, like, I'll retcon it in my head to, like, work in world.
Okay.
Like... like I'm playing Cyberpunk and like my car like glitched out and flew up in the air. I'm like, oops, must be my optics malfunctioning. I'm like,
Right, yeah, no, I remember we
like,
had this, we talked about this before, that like you are so much more dedicated to like positivity and giving, and this sounds condescending, and it 100% is not, because I respect the fuck out of this. Like you are so much more willing to give the benefit of the doubt and like suspend disbelief for the sake of enjoying something and like it's doing what you can to experience what the person wanted it to be. Whereas I'm a hater.
Yeah.
But yeah, like maybe, but in this specific case, maybe I'm the asshole because I hadn't considered that. Maybe the people that are saying that it was like peak since the jump were referring to the storytelling, the world building, the dialogue, the voice acting from everybody except Keanu Reeves. Buddy, you could have done better, let's be honest.
I mean, but also that's Keanu.
Yeah. Here's a fucking hot take. I love Keanu Reeves. That motherfucker cannot act.
He is very like when you put him in a movie or a project, you're putting him in a project, and he's he's there for like face value.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he doesn't emote. Like it's very much like his brand. It's almost like Christopher Walken. You know,
like he's a fantastic. Like he's
that.
great for like action. He's a fantastic physical actor. But I just his acting in every other capacity, I feel like isn't there.
Yeah,
he's cool
I get
as
it.
fuck though, and he's delivered some of my favorite pieces of media. So shout out Keanu Reeves. But yeah, maybe I have been the asshole in this specific instance because every time I think about like when it released, I think of how like bare bones things were, and how like buggy it was. And then like acknowledging that the story was really fantastic and the world building remains some of the greatest world building I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. That stuff is always seen as an afterthought. And maybe I should start not seeing it as an afterthought.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like, I tend to try and look at like, maybe it's because I went to art school and like every class we would take, we would have like critiques where you sit there and you're like, I really like what you did here. Maybe next time fix this. So whenever I approach anything, I try and think like what were they going for?
Yeah.
First. And like at the baseline and pick out like what did they do right and what would they change next time. So like I'm always looking for like what good can you pull out of this in like even a critical sense, like what did they do right?
Yeah.
And so
I gotta start doing that.
But also, man, I think everyone has that one area of their life where that, because like, I'll be honest, when it comes to music, I can be such a hater. Like, I get annoyed at my own opinions. I'm like, why don't you shut up? I'm like
dude, I think that for me is like bugs in games, because it's so frustrating to me that like for so many different Bethesda games, if you want, even after all the patches they've done and whatnot, if you want it to function how it should be functioning for what you paid, you got to get a mod. That makes me so angry.
And I like. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything more to add to that actually.
But yeah, I just like. I love Bethesda silly jank bugs.
I don't.
But like when it's stuff like when like Starfield came out and like the menus weren't even 60 FPS on like PC and it didn't have like literal optimization mods and stuff, like when your game isn't running as well as it can be, that's different. When it's like actual like the game working bugs, I hate that. When it's like silly like classic Bethesda jank, like oops, I clipped through a wall.
Yeah, oh,
like,
I'm 60 feet in the air.
Love that.
I think
please never fix that.
I think another part of it for me is that like with all of the Bethesda games that I played, a majority of the bugs that I experienced were not the silly, funny, haha bugs. It was, hey, you've just spent 30 hours playing this character in Skyrim, making them perfect exactly how you want to be. You're now at the embassy in the main story, but the game is bugged so that the Thalmor are beefing with you no matter what you do. Sorry, there's literally nothing you can do to fix it. You gotta delete your save file, and after that, it's just like, oh, okay, cool. I'll just fucking
or like reload one accidental save you did that's like 20 hours back in your playthrough, and you're like, I'm not doing that.
It's why, like, it's why as much as I love Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2, one of my biggest flaws with that game, and I recognize and I think it's cute and I like what they were going for, but in them, to save at will, you have to have something called Save Your Schnapps, which is like a consumable in game that you can find or make or buy. And it's a cute concept to keep within the like the immersion and whatnot, but also if you're just wandering, the game doesn't have an autosave system like other games. Like for the game itself to save, you need to either quit or complete a quest portion or level up or something like that. So if you're just wandering and exploring and you put 6 hours deep and you're just like, you're super immersed in the game, you forget to save, and then you get in a fight and you're fighting 3 guys and the game decides that it wants to have like, a little bit of elevation, so as a result your attacks aren't hitting like they're supposed to, or jank things are happening with the combat, or like you accidentally like you looked left a little bit too quickly, causing you to no longer be targeting your enemy, making the game think that you're trying to run from combat, and so as a result the fucking game has the enemy trigger the really jank tackle animation where like they stop all of your movement and also you get cut, but they didn't like do that well, so you just kind of get animation locked stuck in that on loop, and then you die as a result, and then now you're 6 hours behind, and it's like, okay, I'm never playing this again after shit like that. So that's the first thing I did when I got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Before, like, I launched the game just to make sure that, like, all of my files got sent out to where they're supposed to be. Then I immediately closed it again and went and downloaded the save at any time mod. Because I'm not putting up with that shit. I don't use it because, like, to save scum. Like, if I end up with if I fail a skill check, or I end up with a bad situation in the game, I'm gonna just thug it out, because that's kind of like, that's a part of the game. But I'm not putting up with having to redo a shit ton of the game because you guys wanted to have a cute little thing. Like, I don't have the patience, the energy. I have the time, but I don't want to put my time into that.
And then that's a good point. Like, if I'm playing, like, let's say, like, normal difficulty, I don't want to deal with that. If I'm playing hardcore, that's cool. Like, if I'm doing an Iron Man run, quote unquote, like, or something like that, that makes sense. That's a cool way of doing that.
I agree.
But, like, if I'm casually just enjoying the game for what the game is, that's kind of annoying.
Fortunately, though,
Um,
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, they don't do that thing where it's like, oh, you have mods active, so you're not gonna get the achievements. They don't care,
right.
which
Yeah.
is nice.
That's cool.
But yeah, just yeah, I don't know, that shit just drives me insane.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, though, big fan of Kingdom.
I'm glad. The cool thing that I see about Kingdom Come Deliverance is like, again, I remember my friend showing me the game when it was still in Kickstarter, like before it even came out on PC, and then I saw it come out on PC, then I saw it like come out really rough on console,
Yeah,
but like it truly feels like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is like the game they wanted to make all
it
along
is.
that they finally got the budget for because they made their money from
That
Kingdom
is
Come Deliverance
exactly how
1,
it feels.
and it's so cool. I'm glad that that happened,
I have
you know?
two things in that regard that I really like. So in Kingdom Come Deliverance, you're the son of a blacksmith, right? Um,
Mhm.
and so like, your character grew up working a smith. He understands how to blacksmith. But because of the
Mhm.
limitations of the first game, you never like you had like there was like a crafting skill, but it wasn't like it was craftsmanship, but it wasn't actual like crafting. It was just like repairing your own gear and stuff like that.
Right.
But there wasn't a blacksmithing system. There is one now in the second
Mhm.
game. And in fact,
Mhm.
literally today they released a DLC that is dedicated to like you getting your own forge and having a smithing shop and
Oh,
doing
that's
shit like
awesome.
that. I'm so excited to eventually get to it. But like this that's
Man.
such a good example of like now because of how successful the game was, they can ball the fuck out. And something else that I absolutely adore, the people that pledged enough to like the
Mhm.
original game when it was in Kickstarter, the people that pledged enough to merit getting a free copy of the game, when they released the second game, they reached out to those people and gave them a free version of the second game.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
isn't that fucking rad?
Yeah, because they're like, this game wouldn't have gotten made
Exactly.
without you to begin
You
with. Like,
believe
the success of the first game is why we're actually getting to make our true dream passion
Yeah,
project,
and I love that.
which is
And it
awesome.
just like that game is dripping with passion.
That's awesome.
It's I love it so much, man. Like there's so many little things. Like
Man, I love in the first one because I watched a friend play. It's crazy and it's like really overwhelming, but it's such a neat game
yeah.
mechanic to like the historical accuracy that like you don't know how to read,
Yep.
and you have to like teach
Yep.
yourself how to read in the game.
Yeah. I love
Like
that.
I love that. It's so funny.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite things about it. Yeah. I very much recommend it if it seems like the type of game that you would enjoy. It's definitely one of those games that are not for everyone. Because again, in
Right.
the first game, you literally need to have an entire quest line to learn how to read.
Yeah.
Which I think is really funny and cool. And I
Yeah,
like how
for
like
sure.
there's an entire perk line that's just reading. That like
Hmm.
as you level it up, as you continue to read and whatnot, you'll genuinely see that like if you're physically reading the book in game, you will see that the words start actually forming words instead of just being a jumble of
Right.
letters, which
Hmm.
is
Yeah.
just it's cute. I love little shit like that. But also I understand if that's not your vibe. Sorry.
No, it's like, you know what else? What other game does
Oh no.
that? No Man's Sky.
Really? You got the cause the like alien language, right?
Yeah, you don't know any of the alien
Yeah.
languages, so you have to like go find like word stones and piece together their languages by word,
Yeah. I remember
which is
digging
a
that.
yeah. I love. I'm a. I think like day one Cyberpunk and day one No Man's Sky are like my cardinal sins for loving. Like everyone's like, really? Carl's crazy for liking those games, but yeah, I have loved No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk
I mean, I feel like
from the beginning.
sorry.
But also with No Man's Sky as well, it was a little different because I saw the first announcement even before Sony picked them up of what the dude said he wanted the game to be, and I was so excited for the game. I was like, don't show me anything else. I want to be surprised when it comes
Yeah.
out. So I didn't look at any of the stuff that like people were like really like hyping it up to be.
That's
So
fair.
I kind of went in at face value when it came out, and it's a sci-fi survival game, which is like my thing. So I was the target audience.
Yeah.
So I understand why I liked it more than other people did.
I played a bit of it, like a few releases, like a few updates after release, like when it was like the game's finally fixed for like the 8th time.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the things that I still think is insanely cool about No Man's Sky, that no other game besides maybe like Spore, and Spore didn't even do it to the same extent, is that, yeah, straight up, there's just planets out there that haven't been discovered. I discovered one, and you know what I named it? I named it Liam Sucks. I dedicated an entire planet to that game about my best friend at the time sucking.
Nice.
And I think that's I really like that I was able to do that.
Yeah, man, at this point, they've put out, like, I think over 40 major expansion updates, and for free, all for free.
Yeah, mad respect about that.
And the most recent, which has me really wanting to get back into it, you're now able to purchase, like, Corvette-class ships,
Nice.
and they basically added in, like, the shipbuilding, like, Starfield has.
Yeah.
So... I'm already pumped for that, but
fuck yeah. I remember the extent of what I did in that game was just space pirating.
Oh yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, and then like I tried building a base on like on a planet. It's probably still out there somewhere. But I don't know. I just wasn't good at it.
Yeah. I don't really like the base building is a huge part of the game, and it like pushes that in the story. But for some reason, I just can't bring myself to care. Like, I'd rather buy a freighter and build a base in that and travel around like a Star Wars character. Like, I don't want to be tied to one planet. I want to fly around and explore.
Yeah. It's kind of like how Fallout 4 has like the mandatory like the base building stuff, but it's like, man, this is you really made this a key thing of the game, but didn't flesh it out all that much, huh, gang?
Yeah.
Awesome.
As could be said about a lot of Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Which we've already said. Rip Bethesda, a new one.
Yeah, we should leave them
everything that can be
little.
said about Fallout 4, we've already said about other games with Bethesda, to be fair. But yeah.
It's just my favorite little horse ticket.
Yeah.
But like, just on the topic of No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk, like, I understand for both games, like, rocking with them from the jump, because both of them, for their many flaws on release, still like were very unique.
Yeah.
And so
that was another thing. Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up, because that was something that like really another reason I loved them from day one. Like I played No Man's Sky, and you know, like it was like so empty compared to what it is now, but I was still having fun, and like similar to maybe Cyberpunk, I was still loving the story and the world building, but of course the content was nowhere near at what it was at now. And I would find myself being like, everybody's hating on this game. So what's better? And I would look out there and I'm like, nothing else is doing what this game does well better.
Yeah.
So like, while people are hating on it, it's like, give me a better alternative. There isn't one. And I think that's like, since day one, I think that's a really strong point to like the games themselves. Like, nobody was doing what Cyberpunk was doing at the time that it came out, even in its broken state.
Yeah.
And same for No Man's Sky. Like,
go ahead.
They're just unmatched in that regard.
And I think that's what has kept them alive
throughout
the like very long process of fixing them. In that, like you just said, there's no games out there that like have the same atmosphere of Cyberpunk or the same like appeal of No Man's Sky. There's no games out there that have like that unlimited potential where you can just go out and like find a complete. I think even still now, from my understanding, there are still planets that have been undiscovered that you can just go out and find, and then boom, that's your planet because you found it first.
Also, I think there's even like weird stuff where like once you beat the story, you can like kind of hard reset and like create your own universe.
Oh, holy
so
shit.
like I think more is being added.
That's very cool.
Like frequently as well or something like that. Again, not to bring it back to dragging Bethesda through the mud, but
somebody's got it.
That's another point that made me love Cyberpunk so much. Like, I played Cyberpunk after being super disappointed by Fallout 4, and with all of Cyberpunk's day one flaws, I'm like, this game is what I wanted out of Fallout 4. And it was, Cyberpunk was what opened my eyes to like how much Bethesda has fallen off.
Yeah.
Like brand new, like first open world sandboxy shooter game CD Projekt Red had done was better than Fallout 4. And I'm like, they got to step up their game if they want to play with the big boys.
Well, I mean, well, okay. Dude, CD Projekt Red made The Witcher 3.
Yeah, but like, The Witcher 3 was like, I love The Witcher 3.
Careful.
But it was their first, no, love that game. But it was still like their first like banger. Like,
oh yeah, the other two Witcher
knock it out of the park
pretty
blockbuster.
Meh.
Yeah, like Witcher 1, it's good for the people who love it. Witcher 2, good, but it's dated. Witcher 3, first one they knocked it out of the park with.
Dude, it's
and so,
good
like,
for the people who like it. It's such a nice way to say that you don't like it.
I just hate the combat. I just hate the way the game plays. But story's good. But yeah, but so like when you look at their discography or their release history, it's like Witcher 1, Witcher 2, Witcher 3, first blockbuster hit, and then Cyberpunk. Yeah. So like for their second big open world like AAA household name game release to be better than like anything Bethesda had released in a decade.
Yeah.
Like, even as buggy and broken as it was, as like there's something to be said for that.
Something else like that is I feel like worth pointing out. I remember CD Projekt Red, because just everything about The Witcher 3 was like baller as fuck. They had a lot of like an insane amount of goodwill with the fans. Yes. And Cyberpunk 2077 on release kind of spent up a lot of that grace that the fans would grant for a game being released in that shape.
Yeah.
And like I remember being like, it's gonna take them a lot of work to kind of like make up for that, and they fucking did. Like, yeah, they put in the fucking work. They made it the game that they made it mostly, with like a few exceptions of like if I remember correctly, they intended to have like, you know, the option of like one night stands and a deeper romance. Just everything involving romancing being deeper. Don't get me wrong.
Which
the romance
they kind of have in the most recent updates.
Oh, what happened? What changed?
They like added like you can have more like in-depth text conversations with your like romantic partners. You can like opt to hang out and go on dates with them and just like actually hang out and do like couple stuff, which is fun, and like you'll end up like running into them and like being like, oh hey, cool to see you. Like I think from my understanding of what I've seen in like little TikToks and stuff, so like even that they've like it's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah, which it's funny, like I remember there were a lot of like mods that did that, and like everything that I would have modded into the game for like deepening the like world and like realism like has basically been added into vanilla, which is cool. Which is awesome.
Hey, you know what, Bethesda, you're gonna catch another fucking stray here, boys. Like that's another thing. That's like if you're gonna like, you know, kind of lean on your modders a bit, that's fine. But like, you know, fucking talk to them. Be like, hey, are you cool with us? Yeah. Like, we intended to implement this as a system already. You cool with us doing that? And like, you know, like, I mean, I don't know if that's how it went down, but I imagine that they like let they like interacted with the modder in some capacity regarding it.
I think so. For some, yeah. I'm not sure how much it worked behind the scenes, but yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. I remember like when I played it and got like almost to the end. I've never actually beaten it still.
Oh, cool.
But like that was a few years ago, and like they've added a lot since then. So shit, maybe I should like run through it again.
Yeah, I don't replay games, and I'm doing an actual second playthrough of it, and I'm shocked that I like want to do that. Like that never happens for me. Like when I think it was the 2.6 update. That was the big one that came out where they're like, the game is finished.
Oh yeah.
Or no, it was 1.6.
I think wasn't it
1.6
2 where they were like
2 was when they added Phantom Liberty. But
okay.
but like 1.6 was where they were like, we fixed the game. Well, it seemed like it was fixed at that point. And then 2, they literally had in the commercial, it was like a wink at the camera. Like Idris Elba said like, the game is fixed, saying like, you know, like a gambling game, like it's rigged against you. But they were actually saying like, no, we fixed the game. It's not broken anymore.
And that's something else that like, I feel like just game companies in general like struggle with doing cute little things like that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know why so many games struggle to like do a good job of keeping like having a game that is serious and whatnot, but also being lighthearted.
Yeah.
There's so many games that I've seen that struggle massively to do shit like that. But if I could keep jerking Kingdom Come Deliverance off again, they do that really well. There's a bunch of little things in world that like do that. Like it's like if I could paraphrase from a YouTuber, I'm gonna shout out a different YouTuber on your thing. I'm so sorry.
Oh no!
Just edit it out if you want.
I'm beeping him out.
Official Nerd Cubed. Fantastic YouTuber. Very much recommend him. Like he talked about how like, you know, why Saints Row 2 is like kind of the most like standout of the Saints Row games, because it is a serious world, but your characters are not serious. Like if you're gonna do you gotta have like a template for something like that if you're gonna do that kind of thing. Like you can't like it's why I don't rock very hard with the Yakuza games. Because it seems I've not played any of them, so I'm gonna preface that with that. But from what I've seen, it seems to struggle a lot with deciding if it wants to be serious or insanely silly. And that's always something that's turned me off of it. But like CD Projekt Red has always done a good job of finding that middle ground, as has not Crusader King, sorry, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Because I remember watching the trailer today for Legacy of the Forge, the new DLC. And like there's a whole little section in it where like just as like a quick throwaway gag, your character is just chasing after somebody that was being shitty. And it's just like it's very quick, it's very silly, and they like never go back to it. It's just a little like throwaway gag that's not focused on at all, and I love that kind of shit.
I think what's cool about like Cyberpunk and Kingdom Come Deliverance is they have like at the core they feel like real life and real lived-in worlds, and like life is
silly,
serious, but it also is silly sometimes.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that's a really good way to break down what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and like that's what's cool about Cyberpunk. You're in this like really dark, dismal like you're gonna die story, and you're like fighting for your life in this like horribly messed up world that's been like ruined by, you know, the way like corporations have ruined the society, but at the end of the day, it's still life and you're still human, and like funny things happen because you're a person, and like real like character dynamics, and like people are funny, and like some characters are silly, and some characters are like doom and gloom, and you get the full range of like the human experience, and like that's pretty cool. Like if a game knows how to balance that, it's great. Like Kingdom Come Deliverance, because back then, you know, they were people. So like there's funny people and there's serious people, and you get the whole range, and that's really neat.
A really good example
Oh no, it's just like if a game knows how to like balance
Yeah,
that.
I
I
love
think
that
like
shit.
yeah, where the bad is when they don't know and they lean too heavy on
Yeah.
the humor or lean too heavy on the seriousness,
A really
like
good
which can be done well.
example of that is like in Cyberpunk. Like I remember the quest line where you're helping out Judy and the I don't remember the name of the company, but the it's illegal prostitution essentially.
Yeah, like the Cloud9
Yeah,
building.
that
Yeah.
entire quest line where like, you know, you're
Jeez.
trying to like depending on how you're going about it, you can either murder all these people or
Yeah.
find like something that works for everyone involved. And like it touches on some dark topics of like human trafficking,
Right.
sexual assault, things like that. And like having that, which is a very grounded and real thing that happens, contrasting to another grounded and real thing that happens but is insanely silly, is like that one guy who that like you can just find on the street panicking because he got a fucking like dick upgrade and it malfunctioned, so now you have to take him to the
Yeah.
hospital. Like it's
Yeah.
such a wild and silly concept, but it is great. It remains grounded in reality.
Yeah, because you think like in a big crazy city like
Shit like
this with
that
all
happens.
these different
Yeah.
people, both things are happening at the same
Exactly.
time in different
And
places.
since moving
Yeah,
to the
which
city,
yeah.
one of the things that like is just a constant is that like, you know, on one side there could be like insanely serious things happening, and then on the other side there's like just pure fucking shenanigans. And neither of those things feel out of place in the world of Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
And that
exactly.
is like to go back to like what I was saying about like the world building of Cyberpunk. It does such a fantastic job of staying within its universe and refusing to ever acknowledge anything other than its own universe. And it
Yeah.
does the slang, like the slang is one of the most like major things of that game. The fact that if you like there's people that genuinely have adopted the slang of that game. And
Yeah.
it's an actual like it's not just throwing out random silly sounding words. You can actually fucking like backtrack how that slang would have came about and what each word means and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
it's so in depth and detailed. This episode was supposed to be about like nitpicking. and
Which,
hot
hey,
take.
I think it's cool because it actually, I love that even in our episode where we're like, let's do hot takes and pet peeves, we largely have talked about what we love about games. So that's cool.
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like that's just a testament as well to those, like, the quality of those games as well, though. That, like, when we came here to kind of shit all over other games, it has instead turned into, well, yeah, this game does this thing bad, but you know what game does it really good?
Yeah. Man, I like, not to get corny for a second, but like with, you know, just acknowledging like video games as their own art medium. Something that I think is like really beautiful about like the human experience in something like Cyberpunk, and I would say the same thing about like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Mass Effect. Mass Effect, like the whole trilogy. Those are all games where the like time is running out and you know some point like your end is coming.
Yeah.
But everything is so like beautifully done that honestly by playing them, it's made me more comfortable with like knowing like, you know what, one day I am going to die. But there's so much to experience and be happy about, and so many like relationships with like friends along the way, to where like even though there is an end to like Arthur Morgan, there's an end to Shepard, there's an end to V, the characters along the way, it like the journey, not the destination, is what's so good about those games. And like it makes me in real life want to be like, I want to experience the journey along the way rather than the destination. And it's really cool. Like, and the fact that like 3 video games have like made me really like latch onto that idea is like really crazy to me. And again, a testament to how good those stories are.
And like that's just like there's since the the start of video games, there's always been the discussion about oh, are video games actually art? Objectively, yes. Because man, like and what you're saying makes sense. Like it really shows you that obviously everybody's gonna die. Those are the two guarantees in life, that you will suffer at some point or most of your life, and you will die at some point. But like the journey along the way, the people you interact with, the things you do, the things you see, say, hear, experience, it's just kind of like, this is cool. I'll worry about that whole death thing later,
Yeah.
And then for some people, it comes out of nowhere, and then hey, good news, you didn't have to worry about it, or you get to face it head on. And I don't know which I would prefer, but it's I 100% understand what you mean.
Like on a smaller allegorical sense, it's like, does the fact that like a main character dies at the end make the game like everything from the beginning and in between to the end less meaningful? Definitely not. And so it's like the same could be said like for real life. But video games are great unless it's Valorant.
Fuck Valorant.
And on that note, I think we should wrap this episode up.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, thank you for being here, Austin. It's been too long since your last episode. I'm glad to have you back.
Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here. It's always fun.
Yeah, man. Do you have anything you want to plug or send people to?
Use code SHITYOURPANTS.
Yeah.
Buy Gamer Subs. Buy Red Bull. Buy Popeye's chicken.
buy a Popeye's chicken sandwich and send it to Austin at this address. But write in the comments how much you think I'm wrong about Borderlands 4 flopping and other heinous game takes that I've had and maybe Austin had throughout the episode.
Write in the comments about anything you disagree with me about. I will not read it and I will not care.
Yeah, exactly. But again, thank you all for watching. We will see you guys next time. Peace out. Have a great night. We're taking this fishing boat back to dock.
Sir.
Have a great night. See ya. Peace out. Bye.
Hell yeah.